Welcome back to the FredTalk podcast. I am your host, Freddie Valoy, and this episode is a very special episode. We have two local comedians on, two best friends. I'm sorry. Best friends first, comedians second. They're going to be headlining Goodnights Comedy Club, motherfucking 27th, October 27th. We mentioned it in the body of the episode as well. Two very funny dudes. Awesome conversation. So awesome that I got lost track of time and the camera went out at the end, and then we bring it back to close it out at the end. But you guys are going to enjoy this one. This is a classic ADHD conversation. When I have guests on, and I didn't have to tell these guys this because they know the deal, but I always, people get a little insecure when they feel like they're going on a tangent. And I tell them, in my presence, there's no such thing as a tangent, baby. Your brain's sending you in a place that maybe you need to go. It always comes back around. There's not been one episode where someone was like, oh, I'm going on a tangent. I'm like, no, keep going. And eventually fucking loops back around like a perfect circle, right? Those are hard to draw, but not in conversation. Not on FredTalk. And this one, we cover themes of religion, friendship. We talk about like the trials and tribulations of best friends, like getting into disagreements, the times they were most upset at each other. And Jordan Scott Huggins and Spencer Bland do a great job of talking about old stuff. Then they kind of like hashed out some weird thing they're going through now, and they did it, masterfully. And this was a fun ass episode. It was awesome. We talk about God. I've been trying to get closer to God recently just because I'm bored of being an atheist, bro. I just need to switch it up sometimes. But you got to believe, right? So we talk about that. We talk about therapy as dudes. We talk about setting boundaries with families. We make some little jokey jokes here and there. It's a great episode. And we start off the episode with something that I like to do. This is something, feel free to use it. It's fun. Whenever if you know about reading a room, this is great in social environments, okay? You can't abuse it. But every time I do it, it uplifts the mood. It's this thing you got to feel it out, all right? And the way we start the episode is with, all right, guys, hands in. Everybody hands in. Friendship on 3. 1, 2, 3. Friendship. Hell yeah. Guys, welcome back to FredTalk. I am here with best friends and comedians, Spencer Bland and Jordan Scott Huggins.
Yeah, baby.
Bro, I whenever I refer to you guys, I usually fuck it up. Not when I'm in front of you, but I usually say Jordan Spencer or Spencer Jordan.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
like one person?
Yes, like one person.
I like that. That's
like
cool.
a guy with two names.
Yes.
Like a guy two
Dude,
first names.
It's funny because growing up, I had a best friend who we went to the same summer camp, and we looked very similar. Not exactly like, but close enough to where like if you didn't see us but once a summer, you'd be like, is that the same dude?
Yeah.
And there was the woman who was like the operations manager for the camp. She was Argentinian or Colombian, something like that. And
dude, not a good look. Opposite sides of the continent for you, okay?
You could be Argentinian.
South America's skinny, okay?
No, dude.
Skinny.
No way.
Chile?
South America is wide as shit, dude.
Chile is like this big, dude.
Chile, that's an individual country. We're talking about the continent. You literally
Jordan,
said the top and bottom of the continent.
It's all Mexico to me, baby. Okay.
Argentina's closer to Antarctica than we are to Argentina.
All I know is one country makes pupusas. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's okay.
He's a cultured man.
Yeah.
El Salvador.
I do know what I'm talking about. This is a character I play. I'm not racist.
No, we're good. They know.
But no, she was Colombian. I remember that because she's from Bogota. So
yeah. Okay. Bogota.
Yeah. But she would, my buddy David Hamrick, he would walk into the building first and she would go, Spencer, to him. And then I would walk in after him and she would be like,
oh, is this in Charlotte?
The camp. David's from Charlotte.
Okay.
The camp that was like right outside
What
of
kind of camp is it?
It was a Christian summer sports camp called the Vineyard.
Are you guys still deep in the God these days? No? Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. And I don't mean any disrespect by it, but you seem like a guy that could secretly be very religious.
I have gotten.
Do you know what kind of vibe Freddie gives me? Freddie gives me that if he ever won an award, he would go on like a 3-minute rant about how important God is to him, but like you'd never hear that any other time.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you fuck with God?
No, I have gotten closer to God through anime. So like, because you know,
Goku really speaks to me, dude.
that is the first anime that affected my life.
Goku fights God at one point, so yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, he becomes God.
I'm
Yeah.
so, how? What?
So like, you know how a lot of movies and stories that we see are pretty much based off, like the hero's journey, which comes from the Bible and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So anime influences me positively, and I thought about it the other day. I'm like, oh, this is like my Bible. I would say I worship it, and it affects me positively. So it's got me closer to God. And I've been really wanting to believe, and this is, I do it on stage, but this is like a real thing. I'm like, I'm tired of being an atheist. I've been an atheist since I was like 18.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I just want to believe there's something else and all that. So I've been trying to believe in God. And I think the other day, I started believing in him.
Yeah.
And I really was like, I have to believe him because I'm like, he might be my arch nemesis at this point.
Yeah.
Because some fucked up shit happened and somebody was like, oh, you know, God, you know, God tests you. And I'm like, if you had a friend that tests you, that like makes your friend get cancer, shit like that, you wouldn't be having that person around.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This is my first time saying it out loud. So
Honestly, I like that because there's a wrestler that I really like. His name's Miro. Honestly, dude's he's who I am like modeling my fitness journey off of. Doing a really poor job at it, but
you're crushing it. Don't be hard on yourself.
Thank you, I appreciate that. But his current character right now, he's called the Redeemer, but he wants to fight God.
That sounds great.
It's so badass.
I love
dude.
that. So
because he used to his arc was that he was like he would praise God in his promos and he'd be like, I want to thank God for my hot wife. Honestly, it was very like youth group leader.
Oh,
He'd be
like I just my hot
He'd
ass
be like,
wife.
I want, because he was also Bulgarian, so he'd be like, I want to thank God for my hot, flexible wife.
Oh my god.
Because his wife is very attractive. And then he
I thank God for giving me wife who is former gymnast.
yeah, but he lost his title, and then he was like, how could God do this to me? Now I'm going to destroy God.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's kind of the same way. You're like, you know, God, if like God's testing me like that, well, now I have to fight God.
Yeah. And a lot of my best friends that ended up being my best friends for life started out as like, we had beef at the beginning. So this is kind of, you know, I think I'm heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, all right. So when did you guys meet?
Bible study.
Yeah, we met.
I mean, if you want to tie it into God, Bible
So
study.
we met at the elevator pitches. We met at East Carolina University in 2011.
I think it was 2000.
No. 2008 or 9.
No, it would have been 8 or 9. I think it was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did our first episode of the podcast. Our podcast, Popper Flop, is about.
Nice plug.
I'm sorry. Take it back. Edit it out.
No.
We're here. We're on FredTalk.
Yeah, dude, this is
Our first episode of our podcast is that it's December something. I think it's like 2009.
It's either 2009 or 2010. I just know that
2009 because I was in Charlotte in 2010. We met
Okay,
an
then it was
on-campus
2009.
Christian ministry called Victory Christian Ministries, VCM.
yeah.
Later found out it was a cult.
They're all a
shit,
cult.
really?
Yeah.
I mean,
damn.
kind of, but not really.
No, really.
And so
He got out of it. I stayed
the
in.
VCM had like 3 pastors, the head pastor and like 2 associate pastors.
Yeah.
And the 2 associate pastors, they were younger than the head pastor, and their whole deal was like, let's connect the students with each other so they have good fellowship. So one of them, Alan, I was new. I got into it. I wasn't even in school at ECU. I was failed out, but my girlfriend started going because she was at ECU.
Oh, you were failed out at that point?
Yeah, I was like
right.
kicked out. And so Alan was just like, hey, I'm going over to some buddy's house. And it was Spencer's apartment. And then we just were friends from there. And Spencer was like, you know who you look like? You look like a fat Marcus Mumford from Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then we've been friends ever since then.
Pretty much, yeah.
What was your first roast joke on him?
I don't know.
You were so hurt by his roast joke that
Honestly,
you couldn't even process.
Actually, you know what my roast, you know
Truthfully,
what?
you probably didn't internalize it and you were like, thank you, but also what?
Yeah. I was like, comedy. I think my roast jokes were probably just a couple years of just like ignoring his texts and calls, you know, when he needed me most.
Continuing to do that. Yeah. Yeah. One time I was like, hey, Jordan, I'm having some really bad thoughts. And Jordan was like, you know, it's a good roast if I don't respond to this suicidal text message.
Oh, wait. So he responded to you when he was having those thoughts and what was
he would reach out. And like, I've just always been bad about
We've
responding.
worked past it. Jordan.
Not really, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, let's do it now. This is, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, Jordan's bad at communication.
I'm trying to get better.
I will say he's actively working on it. He's not doing a great job, but
yeah.
he's at least cognizant of it.
And
I think that's how his wife and I have bonded over his lack of communication. And I gotta say, thanks, because it's made our friendship stronger.
You and Melissa's, my wife, yeah. Yeah, that's just something. I mean, are you good at responding to texts?
I think so. There was years, or not years, but I would call my mom like maybe once a month for a long time, and that like really hurt her.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean it. She was a great mom. I love her so much, but I'm bad.
I met her
that,
at a show
like,
in Hillsborough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she yeah. So and I have no ill will towards her, anything like that. And I'm just bad at that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm also
yeah.
bad, and I've gotten better at it over the past few years. But like organization and like follow through type shit. And then I took a personality test type thing, the Big
like
Five personality.
The letters.
No,
INFJ or whatever.
yes, I think
don't
that was
remember.
it.
Yeah,
but it was like I scored super high on openness and all and I scored super low on conscientiousness, which is like work and follow through and shit like that.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm empathetic to like the whole just kind of
I'm empathetic. Yeah, we're empathetic to each other, but ultimately it means that I'm not empathetic to others.
But you know what I think?
It's like selfishness. It's like, oh, I can't deal with this right now. You know what? What's really helped is like somebody will send me a text, and in that moment, reflecting back on it, 8, 9, 10 years ago, when Spencer's like, hey man, I'm having some bad thoughts. I just need to speak to somebody right now. In that moment, what I should have said was, hey dude, I'm here for you, but I can't be here for you right now.
Right.
I'm not in a good position to be able to give you the attention that you need.
Yeah.
And so like, just being able to tell, it's not even telling somebody no, but it's like kind of the same, just like
It's
learning to say
the recognition of being like, hey, I saw this.
Yeah. Just so you know, I saw this.
Yeah.
I can't give you the attention you deserve right now, but I will come back to it.
What were your thoughts when he sent? What was your feelings and thoughts in that moment?
So long ago.
It was a long time ago. I think just that. It's just like, oh my God, this is a lot.
Yeah.
But it's even more for him. But that also, like, you know, I think probably at the time I was just like, oh, I'm out. I'm partying. I can't really deal with this right now.
You were probably playing FIFA.
I was probably playing FIFA. Yeah. So I actually had the time, but I
think that's the root of the most frustrating
selfishness.
Thing. Well, no, not that, but it's like you will have a conversation, and I will text you and you won't respond, but then you'll be on Instagram. And I'm like, dog, you're on your phone.
Yes.
I see the fucking green dot.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. He's posting a story. I got if anyone is listening and wants to see, I got I only have 2 story highlights. One are my dumb little comedy jokes, and the other is I made like 10
really
dumb memes of back when like the old meme format, but I made like dumb memes of Jordan's inability to respond to text messages.
A lot of it has to go around like Jordan not responding, cussing out Latin teenagers on FIFA or something. You know?
Yeah, it's like you know, like the flex tape meme where the guy's like slapping the tape on like the leaking thing, and it's like text messages from his friends and family, and then that's the leak, and the thing slapping is mobile games from 2014 because he'll play like Excite Bike on his phone. But you made a good point. You were like, I didn't talk to my mom, stuff like that. I think that's the root level is your communication with your parents. Because see, I grew up, my dad and my mom, they made us talk to our grandparents like, if not every other day, definitely once a week. And then when I went to college, I wanted to, but I like talked to my parents every day. And all my friends were like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's crazy.
And it like now I'm like, maybe that's weird. Or maybe that's good communication. I don't know. I think there's too far on both sides of the thing. But like learning how your family communicates with each other, because I know your family very in depth.
We go. I'm exactly like
you guys are the same. You guys go a month without talking to each other. So that's just how you guys communicate.
Melissa's honestly made me better at it because she talks to her family like a couple times a week, not every day, 2 to 3 times a week maybe, and because of that, she's also in communication with my family. Yeah. So like if they we have group chats, you know, you have the family chats, and then she'll respond quicker than me, and so that's made me better since we've been together over the past 6 or 7 years or whatever.
My younger brother, he's a rapper.
I know. I remember you saying this. He's a SoundCloud rapper.
Yes, he's the good one, and he made a song. The song is I think 3 a.m. in Miami from his recent album. And in that, he like calls me out for being a shitty older brother because he was going through tough times and I was not there for him the same way. And he was just like mentioned it in a lyric and then did the whole little sidebar where he's just talking. He's like, "You a bitch ass nigga, yo!" Like fuck that.
It's like the exact opposite of Frank Ocean, dude, when he has his brother or something,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, man.
Is that your only sibling?
No. I have so two siblings that I grew
Yeah.
up with in the house, and then my dad, he was doing his whole thing.
Yeah, he was out doing his thing. I know
He
the
was-
joke. Yeah.
So
he was living his life, dude.
He was out fucking.
Yeah.
Raw.
That little brother, does he live in Miami or where does he live?
He lives in Yonkers, New York still.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Freddie lived like not too far from where I lived in Harlem.
I
Which
I
is
remember
so-
I crashed at that your old place in Harlem.
Yeah,
you
that's
did,
my
that's right.
that's my
150
grandfather's spot. Yeah.
153. Where were you?
Oh shit.
I was 145 in Broadway.
145 in
But then
Broadway,
I
okay.
lived when I first moved there. I stayed at a place that was no. I was 151 in Broadway, and then when I first lived there, I crashed on Ben's floor for a little bit for like about a month, and I think that was like 157 in Broadway, in between
Jeez.
Broadway
Yeah,
and
you were.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, I was on 153. It
Oh,
was
wow.
it was the pink building near that cemetery.
Yeah, dude. There's that big cemetery, like
yeah.
that, like split the like neighborhoods on.
Sorry, I live
Yeah.
in the Upper East Side. I didn't go that far out.
You went there for tourism.
I was on
Just-
60. Yeah. I heard there's a great bodega up here.
I do remember like trying to get people to come up and like hang out, and
No
one
way.
dude one time was like, I didn't know the streets went up that high.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
so dumb that he said that.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's like, there's
I'm
not a
just
juice.
joking.
And then
what-
one time, because I was in New York when like Tinder first popped off, and I had just gotten out of a 3-year relationship, so I was like, I was swinging it around, dude. I was
Yeah.
having a great time. For like, I broke up with this girl. I knew that I was moving back to North Carolina because I was like having not a great time, and I was in mega fuck it mode.
Yeah.
So there was like it was like 6 weeks where I was on Tinder just firing out messages, having a great time. But there was
yeah.
one girl who like we'd been talking, and I was already home from work, and she lived in like Hell's Kitchen. And she was like, I'll come all the way up there. And it was like,
Wow.
it was the
Hell's
first.
Kitchen to you though, that's not that bad.
I mean, it like
20-minute
at
train
10
ride?
p.m.
It's not Williamsburg to you.
No,
you
but
know,
like 10 p.m. on the one and not running express, that's still like a 30, 45 minute run, dude.
It's
Is it 30, 45?
Yeah, because
I
Hell's
feel like
Kitchen's
it's-
like, what, like 54? That's in the 50s, right?
You're gonna
Isn't
go
that where-
100 blocks.
Dude, the one is slow. If you catch it express, it's fast as shit.
Express is the shit. Yeah.
But the local one is slow. I used to have a
know.
joke.
Who did?
I'm trying to think if I could
Joke
say
about
it. Yeah,
the
it's fine.
trains,
No,
dude?
but it was like I tried to tell it when I moved back, and it obviously didn't make sense because like who the fuck would know about the MTA in North Carolina?
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to go into life with the confidence of an old black lady guilt tripping you into giving you her seat.
No, I remember. Yeah.
And then I would just like walk up to an audience member and be like,
And Pat.
I'm like overly. If I see like a woman, I'm like, do you want my seat? Like, do you?
yeah, now,
yeah.
but like when I was talking to somebody about this. I was a different person when I lived in New York. I was 315 pounds. I was angry. I was not
Oh,
in therapy.
damn.
Like, no, I was not even remotely the same person.
Men's
Oh,
rights
shit.
activist, dude.
Yeah, I was big. Yeah, I had a FBI shirt that said female body inspector.
You could have you could have ended up as a Proud Boy. I feel like, or something like that. You were heading in that direction.
Yeah.
No, I was still pretty liberal, but
Okay.
but I was definitely, but I was like, I probably could have been like a liberal incel. I think I was like, I was one rejection away from being like, women are dumb, you know? Like,
Yeah.
When did it start changing for you? Where you were like, I gotta do something.
I was like mega suicidal, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of this city.
Oh,
Yeah.
you laughed the first time.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
if I stay in this city, I'm gonna jump off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Damn, dude.
So that's what's crazy about our friendship is that like we were friends like in person in the same city for like a year.
We're this close, and this is the first time that we've ever like lived together for like longer than 6 months.
This is the most consecutive time we've
Wow.
spent together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in Greenville for like a year, and then like my life fucked up. I went to Charlotte, which is where my dad and stepmom were.
We've been through different waves of dirtbagging.
Yeah, and then I was there for a couple years.
That's a good name of like a memoir. Different waves of dirtbagging.
Different waves of dirtbagging. That's a good.
That'll sell.
That's a good
Yeah.
album name. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was in New York. He came back. He lived with me. We lived together for about a year in Charlotte.
No, it was like 8 months, dude.
He went back to New York because Melissa and I were talking about going, and then he went up, got a place.
I
and
got
then
offered
the
a
month
really I
he
got offered like a
moved
really
back-
good copy. I got offered a Don Draper job. I got offered a copywriting job
Oh,
at
yeah.
McCann.
Oh,
Oh,
And I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I got to go do this. I was dating a girl at the time that I thought I was going to marry. And she was like, I'll move up there with you. And then,
psych.
yeah.
did she go up or did she
fucking-
not
dude.
even?
She was like, there's no way she's listening to that. I'm not going to name her, but like she was very well off and like had been to New York a bunch, but she'd only experienced like
There are multiple roads named after her family in Raleigh.
yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
But she had only experienced like millionaire New York, like
Oh yeah.
driving
yeah.
around in town cars, staying in the Ritz. Like
Dude.
She went to your apartment. and Was like, yeah.
she literally
yeah.
she came up for a weekend and took the L, both emotionally and physically. Physically took
Before he
the
was
L
in.
train
Yeah.
and had a panic attack on the train.
Ugh.
And I was like, "Yo, are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm just not. I didn't know this. This is how this happens."
I forgot that this is how most of America lives.
Yeah. It wasn't like that elitist, but it was.
No,
But
yeah.
it was a little like I didn't know that it was
It was
like
borderline,
this
yeah.
grimy.
Yeah. Slight inconvenience to people with money is
Yeah. And then it was. What sucks too is I was literally in like the second round of interviews to be a writer for WWE.
Oh, I remember
damn.
that. They were
Yeah.
hiring crazy. Yeah.
That's
I had the call with HR and she was like, "Okay, your next round, you'll be in an interview with Paul," and I was like, "Cool, Paul." Oh, Paul Levesque, Triple H.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Oh damn.
yeah, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But I was like obsessed with this girl, like rightfully, and I was in the wrong. Like she was like high school sweetheart, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm not moving up there," and my dumb ass was like, "Well, I'll move back to North Carolina."
And you did. You
And I
moved to
did.
Charlotte.
Obviously, things worked out. I'm married and happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the
Not to her, though.
no.
No.
It didn't work out for her.
With her.
Oh, with her.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, yeah.
No, we moved in together.
Did you grow up in New York?
Yeah. I grew up in on 153 till I was like 10 or something like that, and then moved to Yonkers after that.
I actually lived in Yonkers for a little
How
bit
long
too.
were you in Yonkers for?
Till the end of high school,
And then you moved here,
Yeah,
or?
I moved to Greensboro.
Yo.
That's where I wrestled. Then I was like, yo, I'm staying down here.
Oh, yeah.
It was-
you
it
went to UNCG.
UNCG. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yo, I was talking to someone the other day. I'm in like a like me and my buddies have like a little like lefty group chat on Instagram where we talk about politics and shit. And I was like, someone sent a video of like some cops being lame, and I was like, dude, I think you should just be able to fight cops. Like if a cop's being a dick, you should be like, no laws, just 1v1 me, bro. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. Like, let's just shoot the one.
Yeah.
And we, nobody gets hurt. We
Yeah.
can walk away like men.
Like, all right, Frank, if you want to be a dick, put your gun down and let's actually fight. And if you win, then you can arrest me. But if I win, you can let me
Yeah,
go.
dude. It's like when you see NYPD play another kid in basketball,
Yes,
dude.
it's like
they're not, like rules and laws are
And
off,
I'm
dude.
not saying for crimes. I'm
First
just saying
game
like
to
when
three,
I'm
first
just-
one to three.
I'm just saying when a cop wants to like harass you, like when they're like, "Let me see your ID," just for no reason. Like
Yeah.
if they want to be a dick, I'm gonna be like, "Let's just fight, dude." Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to give you my ID. Let's
Let's
just do
grapple. Let's wrestle right now.
it. And my buddy
yeah.
was like, "That's so funny," and I was like, "I don't know how. I was never trained how to fight." I was like, "But I know how to wrestle." So you'd see me like firemen's carrying a cop on the sidewalk.
That's
Like,
sick.
Did you wrestle? You wrestled too?
I wrestled for like 2 years in high
That's
school.
all. That's
Yeah.
enough to take out an untrained cop.
Oh, the only
really
fight
is.
the only fight I ever got in college, I won because I just sprawled on the dude and he had no idea what
Yep.
to do.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you just do like any regular wrestling move on an unsuspecting person, they're
Yes.
like, I don't know what's happening. Like,
Especially if you're a big dude with a good sprawl.
Yeah.
And that, you're
if you know how to move quick and shoot, like
Yep,
yeah,
that's
I
it.
do want to cut in real quick, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen the study about men versus women, but men, they say they did a study. Men overestimate their fighting ability by
100%, dude.
800%.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
800%.
Do you know what really humbled
so
me?
you think that you can fight 800 times better than you actually can fight, which
Yeah.
means none of us can fight, except
makes
for
me-
maybe you.
That makes me-
No,
is-
but it's all relative because the other day I had to check myself. I was talking about like or thinking or talking about fighting, and I'm like, yeah, they're untrained. And then I was like, I haven't trained in 10 years. Why am I so fucking confident
Yeah,
right now?
yeah,
Like,
Do you know
so-
what really humbled me was LARPing.
uh,
Dog, because I'm like, we're in full armor, and
Wait,
I
what's LARPing for the people that don't
So
know?
Live
for those,
action
for
role
those who
playing.
don't know, that is live action role playing. I have a stomach, okay? It checks out. I got fucking sword, Lord of the Rings tattoo. All my tattoos are nerdy shit. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice, dude. It's off topic, but I'm gonna get a bunch of anime tattoos later. That's
Dog,
it. Yeah.
I got a tattoo. I got a tattoo artist to pair you with if you
Nice.
want.
there- yeah, his
But
artist is good.
we're getting matching tattoos actually next week.
Fuck
yeah.
Wait, are we?
Yeah, the 18th. You're still here. You leave on Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Oh, so it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Okay.
Anyway, live action role playing. It's where you use foam swords. Now there's different things. There's like boffer LARPing, which is like what most people think it is with like pool noodles. That shit's lame. I mean, it's whatever makes you happy, do it. But I'm saying visually, it looks dumb.
Yeah.
I was doing it with this group called Fell and Fair, and they put a lot of thought into the physical look of it.
It was pretty dope, dude.
It was pretty cool. If you it's Fell and Fair on Instagram,
Yeah.
it looks cool. They all like make their own shit. They're all like blacksmiths and stuff.
It looks like if Lord of the Rings, like if you did a weekend fighting Lord of the Rings style, but it was only the men, like only the humans.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's no orcs
no
or
orcs
anything.
or trolls or
Yeah.
anything like that.
But there are women. Women are allowed, just to clarify.
Yes, yeah. But
There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of them there. But
They're allowed, but we won't take it easy on them.
yeah, dude, some of them kick my ass. But I got humbled because you're like okay, because they have you're like in a battle. There's like 300 people, and you're like in a field swinging swords. But then at night, there's a fighting pit where you can like literally like 1v1 people. And dude, I'd be like going up against like someone who's like half my size. I'm like, oh, this is fucking. I'm gonna smash this dude. And someone starts running at you with a sword. No, I have no idea what. I'm like,
also point system, dude. It's totally different. You know, a street fight is way different than like Greco-Roman wrestling.
Well, right, but I'm saying like it made me realize very quickly like, oh, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. That's why I'm like. That's why I'm from now on. I'm underestimating how much I can fight.
That's good. Yeah. Now I like to diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
Like if it ever gets there, like
I'm also like
I like that we're just acting like cops should act. You know, they should be diffusing, dude.
yeah.
I actually wear a body cam in public, and I release the footage.
It's just a GoPro of you breathing really hard.
Dude, you ever see those sovereign citizens that like they know their rights?
Yeah.
I love watching that shit.
There was a dude on TikTok. It was so funny. He was being so rude. It was great. He was like, "Fuck off! I know my rights." He was like, "Fuck you, pig."
Yo,
this cop,
the little kid,
yeah,
he flipped him off.
Yeah,
Yes.
The cop was like, "I'm gonna arrest you." And he's like, "What for?" He's like, "I can say this." And the cop like called his buddy. It was so great.
They always call it. He was like, "Go get your sergeant." And then this cop is like so cocky every time. It's always the same cop. And then the sergeant comes over and he's like, he can say all.
Yeah.
Now was that kid an asshole for sure? But was it pretty tight? It's awesome because everyone's wanted to say "fuck you" to a cop. Even Blue Lives Matter people. They're not. I tried to make this a joke and no one rocked with it. They were like, no one cheers when they get pulled over. Like, no one's like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" Like,
thank you for your service.
Yeah, you're like, "God damn it! Now I'm gonna have to deal with this." Like, yeah,
These are my tax dollars at work.
Yeah. I told you this, but I tell you how
I was breaking the law. Thank you for correcting me.
I haven't done it in a while, and I'm probably gonna face it out because it became a viral tweet and people are gonna think I stole the joke. But I had a joke for a while that was like,
that's annoying.
I know. I had a joke for a while that was like talking about the Blue Lives Matter stickers, but then it switched into the Red Lives Matter stickers, and now it's like those stickers shouldn't exist because no one's coming for the fire department, all that stuff. I told that joke, and I was open mic'd it did okay. I did it at Isatu's Durham show, and I like psyched myself up in the car, and I was like, "This is a joke that like it's a little on the line, but you got to be confident. If the crowd senses you don't trust the joke, they're gonna get uncomfortable. It's like one of those things." And I went up there, and I fucking lit into him, dude. I like told the joke and like people pulled back and I was like, "Oh, what, you got a big cop fans out here in Durham?" Because Durham's pretty liberal, you know?
Yeah.
Bombed so hard that I thought I was going to jump off the side of the building. Dude, the rest of my set, it does fine, but never really recovered from it. Justin Scranton, who was also on the show, great dude. Check him out. NC's funniest comic. Or wait, no, not anymore. Who won this? It doesn't matter.
It was 2 years ago, yeah.
Still a super funny dude.
Yeah.
He came up to me after and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, the Durham County Sheriff and the Durham County District Attorney were in the crowd with like 15 other cops."
So like cop A, cop B.
And also the crowd was like 25 people. So 75% of the crowd was, not only was it cops, it was the fucking king of cops.
Yeah.
So like, no, I left so hard because I saw him. He was kind of like eyeing me down. I was like, I'm not giving this dude a chance to like know what car I'm driving. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I'm a white guy. Was I really in danger? No, but I wasn't even going to chance it. Like,
I was gonna say like if that joke doesn't work in Durham, then it definitely won't work anywhere else. But
dude.
that audience was not the typical like Durham
not
crowd.
Durham audience.
Yeah.
But also like the more I did it, I was like, I don't want to be this kind of comedian.
Yeah.
Like,
where you're like, I don't have the balls to say this today.
exactly, dude.
Like, there's some jokes I'm like, I don't have the confidence to,
it's like I don't want
to muster the courage. It's like
I don't want to have to give myself a pep talk before my shows.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to be like the comic. I've always thought of this, but I don't know. It's like you do like 5 minutes on like straws, and everyone's like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like,
I don't want to like remind people of the atrocities of the world. Like
comedy's supposed to be an escape. Yeah, you just want to be like Nate Bargatze, who talks about milk and ice in his milk at Starbucks for like 8 minutes
and
dude.
crush. Yeah.
I mean, half my jokes are about fucking watching TV and how fat I was as a kid. So like, I should, and those are working. So I should.
Well,
stay
and then
there.
also the Disneyland shooter joke. You do have that,
but
which
that's
you close on.
about TV. Yeah. Hey, I close on it, but it's been doing really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So hold on. I want to get back to
yeah. We went off a tangent. Sorry.
No, this is good. So would you say that was a time where Jordan, like, we would say you're like the most upset at him?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yes, it was because I remember. So we have mutual friends from college. Obviously, as we've gotten older, those people have faded away or whatever. But there was a dude who is still a good friend of mine. If he's listening, Sean, shout out, new father, congrats, buddy. Sean Tucker, great dude.
I almost kind of want. Sometimes you do a shout out, or you do a shout outs a lot,
and I get
sometimes sometimes I want you to just keep going for like an hour. Like Sean, he loves this. We used to do this, and
his
one
wife
time
Holly,
we went to cookout, and his wife Holly, their
parents,
new child,
Christopher
blah
and
blah
Carol.
blah. Sean, he had sex at my wedding, but
but I had sex at his wedding, so he had to get me back.
Just keep going.
He actually, I will say, he did conceive his child at my wedding. So
That's kind of cool.
pretty tight, right?
Yeah.
It's actually it's a quick side note. It's him and then two other friends, Sean and this other guy, Ben, who we mentioned he stayed with and lived with in New York. The three of them are now on committed relationships, and all three of them kept having sex at each other's weddings, dude.
Wow.
It's so weird. So I think you did it at Ben's?
I had sex at Ben's wedding.
And then Ben did it at yours.
Well, I had sex at Ben's wedding.
Like at the venue?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Like bathroom sex type shit? Bathroom sex is hot. All right, hold on. Did
Sorry,
it take
yeah.
any attention away from the
No,
wedding
no, this
itself?
was like,
No,
Perfect, dude. That's
No,
a
dude.
win. That's
Yeah.
a fucking.
I was in
You were walking out with the.
she's walking down the aisle. I'm like, I gotta go, guys. The nuts calling.
Speaking of nuptials,
Or you hear in the back, oh, as she's walking down.
No, this was like late into
Nice.
into the reception.
Hell
Like
yeah.
people are winding
Everybody's
down.
trashed.
Yeah. So I did it at Ben's wedding, and then I did it at Sean.
Oh, that's right. You did it at theirs, and then they got you back
yeah,
at
yeah.
yours.
But
So
it wasn't.
they-
But it wasn't a thing where it was like you gotta get me back. It was just like a fun like. Did you guys enjoy the wedding? It's like, yeah, we had a great time. We had sex.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
that's a fun. I would want to know if people had sex at my wedding, and multiple people had sex at my wedding. It was great.
Yeah.
Our wedding was great. People had sex. Someone made a baby. Someone got a DUI. It was wild, dude.
Dude, that means the vibes were perfect.
The vibes were
It
immaculate.
was
Yeah,
great. He
dude,
got married
that's-
at that St. Mary's Chapel over by
All Saints.
All
It's like right
Saints
by Transfer Co.
and Rose
It's
Trambo.
literally it's like the I call it
that cemetery.
I call it the Up Chapel because there's just fucking apartments all around it, but it's just this tiny little chapel.
Yeah.
It's like right off Bloodworth Street.
Okay, yeah.
It's cool. Anyway, back to your thing. I got it in my head. Don't worry.
No, you're good.
The maddest. So Sean, that's what ties it all in. Sex, wedding, Sean. Okay, I was texting Sean because Sean and I still very close.
I was in Charlotte.
You were in Charlotte. Jordan was was ducking my calls, and I was gonna hang myself. And Sean, who did reply to my text, thank you, buddy. And I also wasn't going to therapy at the time, which you should if you ever having bad thoughts. You should go to therapy. And Sean, I think you and Sean were also kind of friends at this point too.
Yeah.
But like you were kind of going through a spell in your life where you weren't in school. You I think you had maybe just gotten fired from Cold Stone. Like you were going through
Cold Stone Creamery, the ice cream place.
yeah. You weren't doing so great, and
Yeah.
I remember like being pissed at you for like that, but also like using the other factors in your life to be like, well, Jordan's just a piece of shit.
Yeah,
And I remember
yeah.
talking to Sean about it because like we had jobs and we're like becoming adults, and I remember in my head for a second I was like, well, maybe we're just not friends anymore, and talking.
Oh, you that over dramatic.
And talking to Sean about that. And obviously that's not the case.
Little did you know we would go into business with each other and stress each other out even more.
Are we in business together?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, this
Not
is
like
great.
legally though.
No, we're absolutely in business
Oh, you're
together.
talking about the office space?
Dude, we're running a comedy show that
not
has
business,
money.
though.
We run a podcast, and we rented a podcast studio space together.
Yeah, sure.
We couldn't be more in business.
He brings a briefcase to the open mic with documents.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, we run a show that loses money every month.
Yeah.
Hey, every business isn't it
Yeah.
like 2 years in the?
Well, no, it loses money because we put too much into it.
But that's why your shows are so awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's plug it. I mean, when
Neptune's got the next one, October 30th. Helen Wilde is headlining.
Oh,
him.
nice. He's
EJ Masacampo, who is the current NC's funniest.
Yep.
That's right. Out
That
of
he
Greensboro.
won. That's right.
And Devin Roberts are featuring.
Nice.
It might be the last one. Giving a little sneak preview.
There you
Yeah.
go.
We might pause it because we got all these other. We got the podcast. Our comedy is doing stuff.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
we're just looking at our plate and we're like, what we want to focus on
Yeah.
certain things. What's eating up our time right now? We also have jobs and wives that we need to pay attention to.
Yeah, that's number one.
Amen. Yeah,
Was
comedy
there-
is number one. You're right.
What was the time you were most upset at him at? Like, do you remember?
Probably like a month ago.
I think, I was going to say now, it's not a specific time, but I think now has been the most stressful our relationship has been because
There's a lot of moving parts.
yeah, we're in business together. Literally. Like we've taken a great friendship and then we've like introduced these other like aspects to it and like really tied each other to we were like tied to each other, like especially with the podcast, because I think we have different ways that we both work
I will say,
professionally.
I have very high expectations too.
Yeah. And it makes it sound like I don't have high expectations. You know what?
No, but
Actually, I
like-
take it back right now.
No, I'm saying like I think like I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying like my expectations might be too high sometimes.
I would agree with that because
Yeah.
like I think a good example of that, and this is probably too into the nitty gritty, but I
No,
think
this is great.
an example of that is that like Spencer. First of all, he has a video production company. He does great. He records and everything and edits. I'm definitely not as skilled as video editing, audio editing. He records the video on our podcast, and we've started doing video, or we're going to start doing.
Yeah.
I think you probably are such a perfectionist. You would have trouble relinquishing control of that editing to me.
I'm terrible at delegating.
Yes,
but in fairness, there's a lot of trust there because I'm like, that's the thing where it's like I don't know if I can trust you to do it yet. But I did give you when I needed you to take over Neptune. You did that, and you did it.
You just have trouble delegating.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist in the fact that I only trust myself.
So it's not like the biggest blow up we've ever had. It's just that like there's just a new kind of added level of stress and performance anxiety on our relationship.
We got into a big fight before the Crafty open mic one time.
It was about what was it about?
When was that? I feel like I felt that.
It was like last summer, I think.
Yeah, I think
Winston Hodges was in town.
Yeah, that's
and it
right.
was an issue where it was like, I don't take this
You were
open
late.
mic seriously.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's what
we
it
said
was.
we were going to meet there at a certain time, and that was just like that was just us realizing each other's expectations. And I showed up, and immediately I was like, you know what? I apologize.
We had a great talk afterwards.
You are the type of person to like, if you say we're going to be somewhere, and you agree to that, you're going to be there probably a couple of minutes early. I'm the type like I will usually be there on time, but like the Crafty open mic, I don't really give a shit about. But because I was late, you felt that was disrespect to you, and that I wasn't taking it as seriously as you were, and so it was like disrespect on two different levels.
I take things I take a lot of things very personally.
Yeah. So, but we had a productive conversation after.
We did.
So
all of our fights have turned into it's been a fight, but then they've turned into like a progress of our friendship.
That's awesome.
I joke about it that like I don't think I need to go to therapy for any relationship in my life other than me and you.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. I go to therapy, so I just transitively apply it to you.
Yeah.
I'll say outside looking in, any of your productions, open mic, the comedy, I've never once been like, these motherfuckers aren't taking it seriously. So if you do lean that way, it doesn't come out on the finished product, which is great.
That's good.
Behind the scenes, I am screaming. So, or at least internally.
I do remember. I think this might be the mic. But I remember being like, there's something's up with them.
There's a bite in the air.
Feels tense tonight.
That's really funny. Yeah.
We never fought that. We never like physically fought, which I feel like is a
no. Bro, I think we got close one time at Unlikely Professionals. Remember that? Neptunes.
Oh damn!
But that wasn't us.
That wasn't us, dude.
We were reflecting someone else, and I don't. Trying to figure because I
just stop there.
Yeah.
Don't even.
Just
there
be
was
vague.
There was somebody else that caused an unneeded layer, and it was the most intense layer of stress we've ever had producing a show together.
It was also our first one back from. We were running those park shows.
Yes,
it was our first like in person.
So
stress was already high because it was like COVID.
Yeah.
First in person. And there was one person causing a lot of stress, and we both internalized that.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We internalized that towards each other and not towards that person, which we should have.
So I do this thing when I get drunk is that like if somebody's being a dick, I'll turn into a dick, and then that makes it sound like you were being a dick, and that's not the case. Sometimes I turn really cunty when I've had some drinks, dude. Like that's why I love soccer. Like I'll go to London Bridge and just fucking
Jordan's
get cunty.
he loves chatting shit.
I love chatting shit, and so it got to the point where. Like we were like pissed at each other over something, and then
remember.
You said something, and then you were like, "I'm just gonna go," and you left. And then when you came back, I was drunk enough that I was like, "No, I'll clean up." You were gonna leave. Remember that? I was being like a massive cunt, dude. I was being such a prick.
That was 2 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. which is
That's probably the biggest one.
Okay.
That's the funniest one looking back on it. Though.
That's pretty funny. I
Yeah.
do remember that whole night was plagued with stuff because like I can't remember what it was. Like Brent Blakeney was on stage and Lindy was like going to the bathroom and she like misheard one of his jokes. Brent is not a controversial comic at all.
No.
And she texted me and
It was
she
about
was
Michael Jackson, I think.
Brent's a comedian. Lindy's your wife, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know Brent.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
but
saying for the listeners. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
we're-
I was like, what the fuck?
There's a
dude?
lot of names that people are like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, Brent Blakeney, very funny guy. What if I just went into it? I was like, shout out Brent. Lives in North Raleigh, a few miles away from me. Great
6'7"
dude.
comedy.
Yeah, he's taller than me. I like I like it when he hugs me. It makes me feel small.
Brent was the headliner of the show. He was closing the show out, and then he said a joke about Michael Jackson and
Lindy was pretty deep.
Back and forth.
She was pretty deep in her cups, and she wasn't even here. Didn't even hear most of the joke. She was going to the bathroom, and she texted me, and she was like, "I can't believe he just said that. I used to like Brent," and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? That was the most tame joke."
Yeah.
And it was just her mishearing. So the whole night was just like plagued with just like miscommunications.
Yeah.
Like I think you were on that show. You were. That's right, because it was you, Brent, Brandy, Joe, our buddy Joe came.
Joe Strix,
Joe
yeah.
Strix came and did it. It was that Unlikely.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was. Oh yes. Yeah.
It was like it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, I did not feel any of that. I thought the show was awesome. The production was great. So like
It was. I will
you
say,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Visually, probably one of our best shows.
Fuck yeah, dude.
If
Yeah.
Spencer and I are good at anything or just one thing, it's bearing emotions.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What man isn't, you know?
But you guys seem like you process. I mean, even in this conversation, you guys have been talked about it, and it may not be whatever done in the best way, but the end result is like you guys move forward, and
Oh yeah.
and I feel like you adjust for future arguments
yeah.
because it's gonna happen.
I think it's because we both. I think our. This is gonna be. I'm gonna make this connection. We both have strong women in our lives. I think our mothers are similar Southern
I
women.
think our moms are the same.
who
yeah.
are emotionally in tune, sometimes to a kind of insane degree.
Yeah.
But we also spent a lot of time with them growing up, right? You lived with your mom.
Yeah, my
Did you say
stepdad.
you said you lived with them more than you did your dad?
Yeah.
And I think I spent, even though it was pretty split, I think overall I probably spent more because my dad worked a lot and my mom worked a lot too. Anyway, I spent equal time with my parents. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we both spent a lot of time with our emotionally connected mothers, and also had sisters, didn't have any siblings. I mean, you had a half brother, but he was like a baby.
I grew up with two sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we spent a lot of time around
had-
women. So we had to be emotionally in tune with them.
That's very quite introspective.
Yeah.
Have
Never
you,
thought of that.
have either of you had to set boundaries with your families, like with your mom? Because if you're close with your mom, I feel
Yeah.
like there's that weird, the mom and son relationship.
Not really.
No, okay.
No. I've recently had to not even set a boundary, but my sister and I are like, I love her. If she called me right now and she's like, I need you to come help me, I would come help her. But like, she and I are very different people and don't really get along. And we have recently come to terms with the fact that like maybe we just shouldn't spend time together. Because every time we spend time together, we get into arguments.
What's the age difference?
4.5 years.
Okay, all right.
So
That's
it's like,
it, really? Oh, wow.
yeah. But you would think it's way more, right?
thought it was
She's
way
so
more.
much more mature than me.
Okay.
But she had to be. My parents were divorced. She was the older sibling, so like, and both parents worked. So she had, and I don't think I've ever like really thanked her for this, but like she had to like take care of me,
Yeah.
and then also deal with like being an adolescent teenage girl, you know.
Yeah.
So, but we're very different people, and we fight. God, I explain it very well. We are very like our parents. We're the worst versions of our parents, and our parents got divorced for a reason. Like we have like the combative qualities of each.
Oh,
parent.
yeah.
You reflect that to each other.
Yeah. So
What was your initial question there?
Have you had to set?
shit.
No. This was
No.
it. Literally transitioned great.
Yeah.
Have you had to set boundaries with your mom or your
mom.
sisters with like with your wife or like shit like that?
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Not in a way that like I'm dancing around the subject. Some stuff happened. Like not nothing specific happened, but like some stuff. Your parents ever overshare with you about their relationship?
About my parents' relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's never been a problem. I don't think they overshare. No.
But so like but I'm just like that happened. So it wasn't a mother son.
Your mom told you about that thing between us?
No.
I gave my stepdad some like blue chews.
Okay.
Because it was
Yeah.
for Hims. I got it through TikTok. They were like, try these. I was like, I don't need it. So I called him. He's like, yeah, let me get them.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, go ahead, go clap my mom's cheeks, dude. Go fucking.
My dad and I were close like that because we were both dating as adults, you know?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
But like
That's-
I didn't have to set boundaries with my mom as like a mother-son thing, or even like a mother-son and the son is a new like for real relationship or
Yeah.
like marriage or whatever. I did have to. My sister and I had to set boundaries and just be like, hey, you're going through some problems right now, or like the things you're talking to us about, we can't help you with.
Oh, yeah.
Therapy. So it was just
Yeah.
like a human boundary, right?
Yeah.
So
A
it's
professional
like,
can help you.
like
with
if I
this.
started unloading on you with all of my marriage problems, you'd be like, dude, I'm in no way equipped to handle these for you.
Yeah.
right
And
now.
how old are you?
This is in the last couple of years.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's
he
a
was
good
like, So he
move.
was like 45.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
a good.
40.
That's I think that's a good move. Are they in therapy and stuff or?
yeah.
Nice.
My only issue is that, and I don't think they'll ever see this. My only issue is that my parents are super religious, because I did grow up super religious,
Yeah.
which is why I think I'm not now.
Bible study.
And then I always cringe when people go to like Christian counselors or Christian therapists. I'm just like, it feels like you're like reading a book with blinders on or something, you know, like, or just
Yeah.
like
Have you ever been to one?
a Christian therapist.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, first time I ever told my parents I was like suicidal, my dad was like, that doesn't exist. And my mom was like, okay, well, that's a real thing. But she's a very Christian woman, and she
Yeah.
sent me to a Christian therapist, and it was the worst, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thank her for trying. You know, she was doing in her brain what
She was trying to
the
give you
best.
the
Yeah,
tools
yeah.
in the best way she knew how.
Oh, dude, this guy, I remember he had a statue of, it was Jesus on the cross and an eagle behind it.
Oh, jeez.
It was like such an American. We had to pray before and after. He didn't want to hear about I couldn't talk to him about like sex or anything because I was like 19. I had sex. He didn't want to hear about any of that,
Yeah.
which was like half the reason of all my
You're
like.
dealing- yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't care that I was having sex, but I was raised to be told that sex was bad.
Yeah.
But I was fucking because I was a horny teenager, you
Yeah.
know? So I was like conflicted.
Yeah, it feels like talking about American history without addressing
Slavery.
slave trade. dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
it's like,
You talking about what we're trying to do
boy,
now?
why are there so many issues between the black communities and white communities and communities of color? It's like,
You're talking about
I don't know, dude. I don't
You're talking
know.
about Texas public school, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
So what are some other differences between like a regular therapist and a Christian therapist?
Oh man, I think like the praying was pretty weird. He didn't want to talk about he didn't want to talk about anything sex. If I would bring it up, he'd be like, "No, we don't talk about this." I'm trying to remember. I could draw you a picture of
Everything's
what he
rooted
looked like.
in, from my parents, everything's rooted in like sin. It's just like that's sin and you need to expel it from your life
Yes.
or whatever. So it's about like, it's less about tackling the issues and your history and like what your parents did to you and like the not the sins but like the habits and the mannerisms that your parents put onto you, the internalized struggles and psychological struggles that you learned from your parents and your previous generations. It's less about that and more about like, this is a you thing, and then like you need to be positioning yourself closer to God.
That's
And
perfect.
so,
That's-
like,
yeah,
It's
that's
pretty irresponsible because it's like a lot
that's
of it
a
is
good description. Yeah.
it's it's sin, but they pass it off on the devil, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like, whereas
Yeah.
like I'm in therapy now, have been for 7 years.
Nice.
Shout out Mary Grace. She fucking rocks, dude. I love
Nice.
that woman. I went this morning. What if I just kept going?
She's great. She's over off Leadmine Road.
It's like 120 an hour. Shouldn't take
Yeah.
insurance, but it's worth it. It's a business write off.
Yeah.
But she, not her. But like, so like in therapy now, you're in therapy, right?
yeah.
Yeah. You know, you very much are like, I don't know, it's cognitive behavioral therapy. You have to like level set in your brain, like, why do I feel this way? Try to like rationalize, think about it. And it helps you like get out of that loop, or at least for me. it does.
Yes.
yeah.
In Christian therapy, it's all like, oh, you're having suicidal thoughts? That's the devil lying to you.
Yeah.
Don't look into why. Just know that it's this outside force that is wanting you to do this. And it's like, okay, well, like, where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Before you started therapy, how much did you guys think therapy costed?
Oh, actually, I do want to clarify. I've never been and do not go to therapy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You gave a really good explanation of the differences.
I know.
We've been friends for long enough.
I know, and then a bunch of my friends. I mean, comics, especially in New York, comics they be going to therapy, dude.
Yeah.
Women be shopping and comics be going to therapy.
That's true.
A lot of them, it got big in the pandemic too, which was just telephone therapy.
Oh, yeah,
which
like,
is you just call
BetterHelp,
in or they
yeah.
call, yeah.
Kevin Delgado has a funny joke about that.
Oh yeah. And so like I've never been. So What's it like?
What's it like? Okay.
Or whatever.
I first reached out when I was in New York, and that's when I first started because I've been loosely suicidal as a teen, but it was never actionable. It was always just in the back of my head. I was like, oh, well, that sucks, but LOL, I'm not gonna do that. But then in New York, it was oh fuck, this feels actionable. I gotta figure this out. And I remember reaching out to dudes, and then I didn't have, the health insurance I had was bad. I was also only making $34,000 a year working for an agency.
That's wild. In New York City.
In New York City was crazy, dude. I was living off. I was
so
stealing
wild.
food out of the conference room after meetings. That's how I was surviving. It was
That's
crazy.
what you get with those big name motherfuckers. They
Yeah.
treat the
Oh, the whole thing was it's a privilege to work here.
Yeah.
Publicist Kaplan Taylor. Fuck that.
Duke
company.
University does that to the
Yeah.
nerd. Like the vibe is different from UNC Hospital, and already it's a stressful shit.
Yeah, dude.
But it's a completely different. I towards the end I was like, I don't want to fucking be at Duke unless.
Oh, I'm
absolutely
I'm hardcore anti-ad agencies now. I'll name. I don't give a shit. There's a company in Charlotte called Boone Oakley. That dude thinks that he farts wine, dude. He's I know you can't fart liquid. That's a shart, but it pisses wine. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think I sold him a copier way back.
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
so,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Oh,
Dude, he paid me $1,200 a month to work there full time, and I was working 40 hours
crazy.
plus a week.
God damn.
$1,200 a month. This is
Yeah.
2015.
I
That wasn't
remember,
that
yeah,
long
yeah.
ago. And we were anyway. But so I was feeling bad. I was in New York. I reached out to therapists, and they're like, "Oh, it's $300 a session." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm just gonna die."
Damn.
Yeah. And then when I moved back home, I didn't go to therapy because I thought it was that expensive down here. So I just started running. So because I was 300, I lost 105 pounds. I was 315, and I got down to 212. He and I got skinny at the same time. Dog, we looked good.
yeah.
Nice.
There's some pictures
I
of
did
us.
keto.
You guys were in sync.
We did do.
Fucking-
We've been in sync our whole lives. We got married at the same time. We both drive trucks now. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, when he pulled up, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. None of it. It's so weird. None of it's planned. We started comedy at the same time.
This plan, yeah.
It's all just a bit, dude.
Well, and literally the whole reason I started comedy, started doing stand up, is because we were friends. He started stand up.
Yeah.
You started, but you kind of did it, and then took
I did an
a
open
year.
mic
yeah.
once. Yeah.
And then he started doing stand up for real. And then he was like, I'm moving to New York. And I was like, I can be funnier than him.
Yeah.
And then I started stand up. Yeah.
And now you are.
Well, you took time off.
Yeah, I took 4 years.
You've
off.
taken time off here
Yeah.
and there. I started and never stopped.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine if I didn't stop, I'd be probably still just as bad. But,
Yeah.
anyway. But no, and then it was actually that girl, that rich girl that I told you that I dated. We were in a very not healthy relationship, and shout out to her. She changed my life, but she was like, "You got to go to therapy, dude." She was like, "I cannot."
Nice.
Yeah,
There you go.
because she went to therapy. She had some stuff going on with her. And she was like, I remember it. She was like, I cannot be your emotional punching bag anymore. She was like,
Yeah.
straight up,
Yep.
she's like, you gotta go to therapy. And it was funny because me starting to go to therapy is what ended our relationship, because I realized that we were in an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
And then she and I had a very civil conversation where it was just like, this ain't working.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
What really got me into it was I just started watching Jordan Peterson videos, and that kind of did it. You know?
That helps.
Yeah.
I actually read his book, and it helped me get out of a dark spot.
Did it really?
Yeah, it really did.
I mean, he
The
gets
two-
some shit. I'm not
12
about to
Rules for
defend-
Life?
Yeah, I'm not about to defend him because that's an easy. It's easy.
I'm not
punch
even,
down.
I don't even, hear me out. I've only seen clips. I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't even know.
Yeah,
I've just
yeah.
seen
This
some
is
stuff.
inappropriate, but he has a very attractive daughter.
Oh no, yeah, Michaela. Yeah, she's
she was
she's
also
fine.
kind of big into following into his footsteps.
Yeah,
They
and
have, like, a
I
podcast together?
I was listening to him before he went the other way.
Well, he seems like one of those dudes that once again, never listen to any of his stuff. I don't know if I'm misspeaking. Please let me know. But he seems like one of those guys who was a regular dude and then found an audience that liked a certain thing that he was saying, and then he maybe kind of leaned into saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what was your experience listening to him for a long
The
time?
most recent thing, I shit on him on one of my solo episodes because he was
Nice.
talking about the plus
Jolo
size model.
cast.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and I was just like, all right, dude, you're
Yeah.
out of your shit. But when I listened to him, I read his book and I really liked it because he's a clinical psychologist.
Yeah.
So he brought science to it, but he's deeply religious. So he weaved the story in, bro. And so I would say that was my first big step on I had more respect for
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah.
The idea
And
of
that,
God.
that. And then I would listen to his lectures on procrastination. I would
Yeah.
procrastinate by watching his videos.
Yeah.
And it made me just understand why I was not, with the low follow through shit and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then I got off of it. And then a year after that or so, because this was 2016 or something like that, or 2017. And then shortly after that, he like blew up, and I was like, when it became super gay for me when like the right was like, you gotta fucking. The right has this weird thing of like championing like very obvious things.
Yeah,
like
dude.
they're like family, and we don't like pedophiles. It's like, okay,
Dude, I tried to write a joke about it because it's like some of their stuff, like, and I'm not. Hear me out. I'm like almost a communist, dude. I'm pretty lefty, but it's like I'll look at like some of the right's values, and it's like I don't agree with it, but I'm like, you're making a good point. You know, they're like, yeah, we just want like a regular family or whatever, and it's like, but then they'll be like, and also JFK Jr.'s alive, and it's like, well, hold on, okay,
yeah.
It's like you guys gotta maybe like take one back. Like,
Somebody has a great joke about conspiracy. Oh, it was Jake Weddle has that joke about conspiracy
the
theories.
Pizzagate thing.
Yeah, where he's like, honestly, a lot of people, the conspiracy theorists, I can get on board with it, but they always take it a little bit too far, and it's just
like the Pizzagate thing.
There's like a cabal of senators meeting in the back of a pizza place, and they're conspiring to take over the Senate and the Congress, and they're raping children.
No. It wasn't. It was. It was like there's a. He said all that. The kicker was, and it's in the back of a pizza place.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
And he was like, okay,
Yeah.
like,
And then I felt like he's got one where it's like, and it's they're secretly spiders, or like something.
It's funny.
I have a good friend that, and I was so like, I was proud that he trusted me because I think he gets me. Like he said he was deep into QAnon, and then realized like
he got out.
But he like told me that at a bar. I was like, thank you for sharing that. Most people I feel like wouldn't do that, but he was just like, he's like, yeah, I could just tell it was bullshit, and they were fucking crazy. Like,
dude, people don't realize that like those people are redeemable.
Yes.
It's like, and I've been trying to get better at that.
Like Leia Remini, dude.
oh, she got
got
a
another
Scientology.
She got out, and then she's like making shit, being like, these guys suck, dude.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it's like that's cool that your friend was like, oh yeah, it's like that shit ain't good. You know?
Yeah, it's
like,
human. Sometimes we lose our way, and then we fucking you make it back.
Some of them suck, but there's someone's got to at least be like, hey, this maybe ain't cool.
Yeah, dude. I've spoken in tongues before. Like, you know,
exactly.
I'm
Dude, we used to be like deep into
hard at
some
it. That was
bullshit.
VCM. Yeah,
What did that feel like? Were you like, I got to fake it, or were you feeling it? And you
truly
were like,
faked. So
100%
totally faked. Yeah.
I got a whole joke about it. I wanted to have sex with a girl at that church, and I wanted to impress her. 100% doing it for the nut, dude.
Yeah.
You're like, look how my tongue moves.
Literally, like we were.
That's such a good tag.
That is good. I'm gonna actually start. I'm gonna use that, dude. If you're okay with that, yeah.
Yes,
What's funny is
absolutely.
I think the thing was I was like, oh yeah, she told me that she wanted me to pray in tongues, and I was like, oh, I was in Spanish class at the time, so I was just rolling my R's. Like,
That's yeah.
But yeah, it's totally, dude. I remember so many. I'm actually trying to write a joke about this because so many cringy things I did that I thought were like in the name of God, and it was like, nah, dude, it was just peer pressure.
Yeah. Which is like really the most powerful.
Like you had left by this point, but like the church we were, because it was a campus ministry that was fueled by a local church, which is then fueled by a bigger organization that was based in Knoxville, Tennessee. That was the cult. So I don't know. You didn't go down the rabbit hole, I don't think. So you never found out.
No, but I did go to Campus Harvest.
You went to Campus Harvest, but you didn't like. I don't think you found. You were gone by the time we found out like the whole conspiracy.
Yeah,
like basically, it was these three dudes in the '80s, and they'd started a campus ministry, and they were stealing money from the students. But like in a like, you have to give us money because we're pastors, and God wants you to give us money. And the kids were like, well, yeah, if it's God's will, sure.
Yeah.
And then the governing body of like Christian organizations was like, okay, you can't do this. This is pretty culty. And they like made them disband. And then like 15 years later, the same three dudes were like, we repented. We're back. What's up?
Yeah,
we're doing the same thing, but we're back. And,
holy shit.
And everybody was like, well, yeah, Jesus forgives. So sure, bud.
So I actually rode around with Alan, who was one of the associate pastors. One time.
Who is now like a head guy with that same company.
I rode around with him on like a Sunday. He was from East North Carolina, like fucking Corolla and stuff.
Yeah,
so
like the coast,
the boony coast. Yeah, and that was his thing. So they're basically like Victory Christian Ministries, and so they were like missionaries to rural North Carolina.
Yeah.
So he was sponsored by churches.
Yeah.
All around the states, all around Eastern North Carolina. So like once every other month, he would have to go and like check in and be like, hey, you're sponsoring me, or here's the work I'm doing. And then people would be like, okay, cool. And then they give him a bunch of money and everything.
But like part of the things they would do is like, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but like he would be like, do you want to, let's go have communion, or not communion, but like fellowship.
Yeah.
And you'd like go get lunch, but then you'd have to pay for lunch. Cause like,
oh no,
that was the thing, man.
That's crazy.
You'd have to pay for lunch. And then another part that they got disbanded in the 80s was because they were controlling the kids' relationships, and they were starting to do that with us too. It was like me, Lucian, Sean, a few other kids. We all got together and we were like, hey, are they telling you like not to date so-and-so? And like, you guys have already talked about how you like each other.
Wow.
And we're like, yeah, they're doing that with you too. Cause like, I liked this girl, she liked me, but then we both were like, oh, we can't. And we had this one night where like she was moving out of her dorm, and it was the most sexual tension I've ever experienced in my life. Like, this girl and I are in our underwear in her dorm, in her dorm room, listening to fucking Owl City, dude. It's so
What's
cringy.
what's else? Is that religious?
Remember Fireflies? The song Fireflies?
I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns. It was huge. It got up to like number 3 on the Billboard charts. Our podcast bopper flop. Anyway. But he was a Christian dude, but it was like kind of like girly techno music, and he hung out with Taylor Swift. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He was soft, dude. He's just a soft guy. But we were hanging out, and we were about to do it, and we were both just like, the pastor said we can't. And we're both dripping, dude. Like,
was he trying to get with any of the girls? Or were they trying
that?
to?
I don't know.
Okay,
but it was
right.
but it was very controlling. And like, what we later found out is like, we were all meeting with this dude or people in the organization, and then like confiding in them, because that's what you do in accountability, and being like, I have relationship feelings for this person, and they'd be like, well, how is that going to help you with your relationship with Christ?
Yeah.
When in reality, what they didn't want you to do is they didn't want you to become in love, or they didn't want you to date this other person and then leave the church, because that's what you would do. You would date, you'd move away. They wanted your money. They wanted you to stay in the network.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. So we all found that out, and we were like, oh, fuck this, dude. And we all left.
How'd you find it out? Like,
this one dude who I don't even talk to anymore. I won't name him, but I am going to talk shit about him. He's a huge piece of shit. He's like a prison guard, like in like Butner, north of here.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, we were friends in college, and he randomly was like, he's super country dude. And he was like, hey, did you guys like Google these dudes' names?
It
was so simple.
I did not know it was that simple.
And we were like,
oh my god, dude!
Because the thing, we were all like feeling weird, because they had this thing called the Purple Book.
Yeah.
And it was like, they were like pushing it. They're like, you got to buy the Purple Book. You got to go
I remember
through
the Purple Book.
They're like, you got to go through the Purple Book. But then when you opened it, it was like, it talked about the pastors, and it was like how good they were, and it really didn't talk about Jesus that much, but it talked about how you like
crazy,
you shouldn't put yourself in like horny situations. It didn't say horny, but like put yourself in like critical situations with the opposite sex. It was all about like sexual impropriety, and like how you should like honor your pastor, and like it would mention Jesus a little bit, but it wasn't like, the people who are Christian know that like Jesus is like the way, the truth, the light. He's the Alpha, the Omega, that you get to heaven through Jesus. That's the story, And we were pretty Christian at the time, and we were like, okay, well, like, this doesn't really talk about him, so that's kind of a red flag. And then Lucian was like, I'm gonna Google these dudes. And I just remember we were all
crazy.
hanging out. He's like, y'all ever Google these dudes' names?
now you left before the Google search.
I was just about to say, I'm so fucking glad I left, dude. I'm so glad I left. Because while you're doing all this stuff, dude, I moved to Charlotte. I transferred out of
this guy's partying, having time.
Dude, we had the best time.
He's
dude.
having sex with
all
South
my Latin
Americans,
American
dude.
friends, dude. I've like met 2 of the best friends I've ever had in my life. Who I don't even talk to anymore.
I get it though. I feel like it was still tight.
They're Ecuadorian, dude. I'm
Jordan's
so
having a
glad
time, dude.
That started a new path for my life that I'm ultimately thankful for. Like because I moved to Charlotte, I traveled to Central America 2 years in a row, dude. Like I was going to Phoenix, which was a club at the time, but we were going Tuesday nights, which was Latin night, dude. Because like I only had Latin.
Oh,
friends,
Phoenix and
dude.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
It was the best, dude.
Yeah, it was.
I started
wild.
playing soccer, dude. It was great. I lost a shitload of weight because I was on the soccer team in Central Piedmont.
Yeah, I was living the polar opposite life.
I was hanging out with Esteban, Mike, Regina, Marcella, dude. It was great. Like all these friends, and like two or three of our friends were from El Salvador. And then my 2 good friends, Mike and Esteban, were from Ecuador. And then, we were just partying all the time. I had to move in with my dad, but it was great, dude.
Hold on. So why'd you leave the cult?
The cult. Oh, no.
Why did I leave it? I
never really
moved away.
I do want to say, you were never like you went to the church, but like you were just like kind of hanging out because Hannah, his girlfriend at the time, was like she was part of it, but not she was even really wasn't in it because it was there were levels. It was just a regular
because she was in graduate school.
It was a regular campus ministry that met on like Thursday nights.
Yeah,
and then like if you went to the Bible studies, which are the offshoots of that campus ministry, that's when it got culty.
Okay,
and then if you went to the church that was supported by that, then it got more, and then even worse from that, they had this thing, dude. This is the word. They had this thing called VHOP. Victory House of Prayer.
Oh, I remember that.
And their whole thing is they're like, because it's Greenville, North Carolina, they're like, you don't need to be going out to bars and getting drunk and putting yourself in those situations.
Instead, you can hang out on a Friday night and play ping pong with everybody.
No, it wasn't even that. Instead, they were like, we're going to open the church from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Come in here and pray for the sinners downtown.
Fuck that, dude.
So people would go to this church and they put on like Jesus music and people would be like, like fucking.
But when I moved to Charlotte, actually, for like 6 months, I tried to do it.
Yeah.
I was living, so my dad lives far out of Charlotte. He lives on the west side in Mount Holly, which is still like 25 from downtown Charlotte. And then I was traveling from his place to UNC Charlotte's campus. I wasn't even going to UNC Charlotte, but
that's right.
at the time they had a VCM on campus there.
Oh, they did.
So I transferred there, or I didn't transfer there, but when I moved to,
thanks for continuing the message, brother.
when I moved to Charlotte, I tried for a little bit to go. I went to church like all the way out in fucking Mooresville for a little bit. And then I was like, oh no, sorry, dude. I'm having way more fun with my friends.
Yeah, sinning is fun, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at what point, I'll start with you. When were you like, because at the start of this, you're like, I don't fuck with religion. When did that happen? Because it's not,
Yeah, it was like one first like real breakup. Yeah, like when you get your heart broken for the first time. In middle school, my youth pastor, this is crazy. In middle school, my youth pastor,
Sorry.
This was in Hickory. My youth pastor at the time was married and had 3 kids and got together with the drummer, this chick, who was the praise band drummer, who was 18. And fucking ruined the church, dude. I mean, it really killed the church. Like, there was also this whole thing where when you were in like kids group and then you got to graduate to youth group.
Yeah.
And so I was like on that verge.
They let you listen to rock and roll music.
And he was, exactly. And the youth group was like, he had done like, he was like a very enigmatic personality. He'd like grown the youth group. All the kids from my high school that I was going into, they were going there. And then he started banging the drummer. And then it was like, oh, what a piece of shit, dude. And then like, I just felt bad for his wife who like was like and I was like, I'm not about all this. So that kind of like that's when I like lost the gleam in my eyes, that's when the light went out. and then I got back into it hard when I was dating Hannah, and then I was like, nah, I didn't like it. And then when I moved to Charlotte, I was just like, oh, I'm just a very like, I don't know, whatever you call it, very
agnostic,
like selfish, kind of carnal. Like, I'm concerned with the carnal things in life. Like, I like experiences and
like a pleasure seeker.
Yeah. And I'm not, so like, and I'd grown up in church and it was like when I moved to Charlotte that I was like, oh, it's the first time I was ever like, oh, I actually don't like this. And I also don't have to do it.
Oh, nice.
Realizing you don't have to do it is great.
Yeah. I maintain to this day, the greatest thing in my adult life is waking up on a Sunday and being like, thank God I don't have to go to church, dude. It's the greatest, dude.
That's great.
Bones to that.
Spencer, when were you like, fuck this?
Dude, I was the opposite. So like growing up, I went to youth group and stuff and I like lied. Like I went to a Christian summer camp and like, but my parents did not force me to go to church on Sundays. Like my dad maybe went to church like twice a year. Mm-hmm. My mom went, maybe handful of times, 15, 20 times a year, half the year. But my mom and dad were always like, you never have to go. They never forced me to go. So they were super chill about it. So like, religion was never important for me. I got really into it in high school and then later into college. And it was when that dude was like, hey, this is a scam, that organization I was in. And
Y'all
then
ever Googled it?
Yeah. And then I really started because I'd always had doubts because I dealt with that like my whole faith. Because my big thing was like, well, if I can't see God, then I can't believe in him. I'm a very physical, I got to see it to believe it, dude. And I always, like, anytime I would ever talk with a pastor, we would always butt heads about that because he'd be like, well, then you don't have faith. And I'm like, yeah, I don't. Like, I got to see this shit, dude. And I'd be like, if God cares, if he, then reveal himself to me. And they'd be like, well, in the Bible, he did that. He would blind people. I'm like, all right, worth it, dude. Like, I'll take my eyes. Just let me know you're real. Like,
yeah.
That actually would be kind of worth it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but the thing is, though, that once you've been given proof, then it's no longer faith, dude.
Exactly,
It's not faith, and
shit.
you can't believe purely. I was like
that's a
super into
cop-out.
Christian apologetics.
you were, that's right. But anyway, so my thing was, it started with that dude being like, hey, this is a scam. I had already committed to lead a mission trip to Baja, Mexico. When I started finding this stuff out, I looked more into it, found out that it was a full-on, not like drink the Kool-Aid cult, but in my...
It's going to cost me a lot of money over the next long period of my life.
Yeah, I was like, this is a cult in my description. I think it is, and I went on the mission trip because I was like, I'm going to see how this goes. And then it was on the mission trip, the morning, we had gotten there, we landed in San Diego, drove down. First morning, we're in Baja, whatever, this tiny little town that had been like fucked up by like a hurricane that had come through. We were rebuilding it. And I mean, half my jokes about church are real. Like I woke up, we're doing breakfast. This dude, Nick Jones, is like praying in tongues over fucking huevos rancheros. And he's like, shalaka-la-la-la-la-la-la. And then people are passing out purple books, and they're like, you have to give at least 15 purple books to the villagers. And I'm like, we're not in a village, dude. We're in Baja, California, or Baja, Mexico. I don't know we had to give passports, so I know we're in Mexico, but some people called it Baja, California. I don't know the geography that well.
It's like right there on the border, though, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's like some people call it Baja, California, even though it's Mexico. It's very confusing to me.
I think if you got to give a passport, it's Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Yeah. And in my head, I'm just like, this seems not real. And I just had like a wave wash over me, and I was like, it was like they were all praying, and I kind of prayed, but it was like an internal prayer, and it was like, if this is fake, I'm going to find out on this trip. And I didn't do any of the mission trip shit.
Yeah.
But I watched these people do mission trip shit, and I was like, I'm going to focus on like actually learning these people's names and like being a community member to these people. Like, how can I help them monetarily or emotionally? Like, I'm not going to worry about their souls in heaven.
Yeah.
Within like an hour, I found out they're all Catholic. I hung out. I can't remember his name.
Oh shit!
That's what I wish I was raised, dude.
But I was raised Catholic. I hung out with this dude, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know why you guys are down here. Like, we all believe in God. He's like, we're all Catholic.
Well, there's no bigger scam than like white missions, dude. It's such a fucking.
So anyway, I ended up hanging out with this dude and his family for like the whole trip. It was like 4 or 5 days, and just I saw people like commit just like fake. I classify it as pharisaical because I don't know if you've read the gospel, but in the gospel there are these people called the Pharisees. They were like the hierarchy. They were like the cream of the crop of Christianity. But their whole thing is their big thing was, look at me, look at how good I pray, look at how much I love God. And their whole thing, it was fake, or not fake, but it was like it was to put on a show. And I just saw these people being very pharisaical, and I was like, that's not God, you know? Like this woman who was in a wheelchair, she had a dent in her head because as a kid, a truck backed into her and it never healed right. And she had like, some complications from that. She was in a wheelchair.
Here's your purple book.
No, literally these girls went up to her and they were like, God, it's going to make you walk today. And in Spanish, she was like, no.
Wow.
And these girls were like, no, God is, and they all like laid hands on her and started speaking in gibberish and just yanked her out of her chair.
Yeah.
She like stumbled forward and like her leg just swung, gravity swung it forward. And then she collapsed. And they were like, praise God, she walked.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow, dude.
Meeting Catholics was like the greatest. I think
these weren't Catholics. These are the people.
No, I'm saying for me in my life. And
gotcha.
Meeting like Latin Catholics.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, that was such a good turning point.
Why?
Just because they are just like fucking 6.5 days of the week. They're just like, I'm gonna live my life exactly how I want to.
And then I'm gonna pray for forgiveness.
Sunday though, dude, I'm going into mass.
Yeah.
I got 1.5 hours a week. I'm God is my guy.
Yeah,
and
dude.
then I'm out, dude. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, then at the end of that trip, we were dedicating the church and like the 4 houses we built to the town or whatever, the village. And the family that I was hanging out with the whole time, he came up to me and he was like, hey, because they had a little like 5-year-old who was like a little chunky kid like I was, and like he and I bonded, and I was back when I could actually speak Spanish. I can't anymore. And he was like, hey, he wants you to baptize him. And I had to be like, it was in broken Spanish, but I had to be like, hey man, like I don't really believe anymore.
shit.
And he was like, no, dude, it's cool. Like, he's
Yeah.
like, but he was kind of chill about it. He was like, I get it. He's like, but it's like an emotional thing. Like,
Okay.
And I was like, all right, dude. So that joke about me, I'm like in the fucking baptism pool, and in my brain, I'm like, dog, I don't know if this counts.
Yeah.
I literally baptized this kid.
I like his explanation though. It's like an emotional thing. I feel like it was that's fucking.
He was
awesome.
also emotional.
He was a cool dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Well,
We-
like, isn't it like we're at an interesting crossroads here because like we're firmly out of it.
Yeah.
But you're like, actually, you're like kind of flirting with it.
do you know what brought me back
Yeah,
in a little bit though? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
you're good.
We took a bunch of acid like a year ago.
Yeah.
Like too much acid. It was fun, but it was a little too much. And like I don't know about you, but I was like, I saw so much, and we spent the whole night outside, and I was like, nah, there's got to be something up there.
I mean,
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where it started with me.
Yeah.
Was heavy doses of mushroom.
really? Okay.
I took a god out on a date. It's what
Yeah.
it felt like.
Yeah.
I was like flirting with an entity.
We each took like 4
Hi,
tabs, dude.
omnipotence. Yeah.
And I
haven't
was
really-
I was just like talking with trees. I don't know what you guys were doing, but I was laying out and I was just like having conversations with trees, looking at the stars, and I was like, the stars kind of looked like a big eye.
No, dude.
And
I was just like, music's sick.
so we're in the same place
Yeah,
where I'm
yeah.
like now I'm not like there's nothing. It's like I'm like oh
You're
there's some
open to
other
it.
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I've
yeah.
I've hallucinated like transcending through different time periods and
Yeah.
like I'm like I like literally felt like I was in the 1920s.
That's sick.
Like dancing. All of them were partying. It was
Yeah.
like in different times and it was crazy. Yeah, it was one of the most meaningful experiences. I took like 8 grams. My girl took like 4. This was like early in the relationship. We like cried together. We laughed together. It was amazing.
Freddie, you're hot enough that like if you went back to the 20s, you'd like sleep with a white woman and piss
Oh,
off
dude,
a town.
that's someone told me like, well, you can't go back past this. I was like, I think I could figure it out.
I think you can figure it out. You're charming and you're hot enough that I think
Yeah.
you'd be okay, but then you'd sleep with the wrong person.
Yes.
And you'd be like, I gotta get out of here.
I would have to move cities. Yeah.
I've thought about that so many times about like how subjective if you could go back in time conversation is, because like if you had a time machine, like depending on your race, you could only go to so many places. Like white people, I would if I'm me and I'm white and I had a time machine,
But if you go back further,
I'm
enough,
going back any time in history.
Yeah.
What I'm not doing, but like if you're like black or a person of color, whatever, you don't really want to go back.
No, you go forward to where
Yeah.
you get white slaves.
Exactly. That's why if I'm white, I'm not going forward.
Yeah.
Dude. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
saying. Like, I'll go anywhere back in time. I won't go in the future, dude.
Dude, I'll be good to my slaves.
I'll go 7 years. I'll be good to my slaves.
my descendants appreciate that. Yeah.
Actually, this whole conversation has me thinking too that like I think it's because I never felt anything through all my growing up, going to church. I never felt anything. When I spoke in tongues, it was a lie. I was faking it. And so I'm also like, it's not that I don't think that ghosts and spirits exist. It's just that like, if there's like a knock in the house,
Yeah.
Melissa freaks out because she's her
Have you never
family.
had like a ghost or like spiritual like situation?
No,
Really?
no,
What about
dude.
you?
And I think it's
no, but I had an aunt that, or she still does it. Like she would sell out.
Yeah.
Like that's how she made money. She would get possessed by, I don't know if it was one spirit or
damn.
like loved ones, but
Yeah.
people would line up and give her money.
And she would-
Yeah, so I'm in a family of con artists and drug dealers. All right, so we are back talking about God. We're gonna end the conversation there because I feel like you guys said, God intervened on that.
God
one.
was like,
Nah,
you guys better
that's so
stop talking about
funny.
me,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I'm one more step closer.
You know what?
To
Still don't
believe.
Like, the exact opposite of you.
We're like, boom. Before we go, you guys are going to be headlining Goodnights. I want to talk
Yeah.
about that. And I'm going to do an intro up front.
Okay, cool.
I like that. Yeah. This was a great conversation. When is that? The whole thing,
Yeah.
I wanted to come tumble together. It's like best friends, and now you're fucking headlining Goodnights together,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
dude.
a
We're
huge,
stoked,
a
yeah.
huge milestone for
Yeah.
comedy. So congratulations.
Yeah. I hope you're right behind us, dude, because I think you're so funny. But Thursday, October 27th at 7:30,
Nice.
goodnightscomedy.com. They have some $5 tickets left.
But only a few.
Nice.
I just
Only
found
a
out
few,
that the
yeah.
$5 ones are almost sold out, which is pretty exciting.
Spencer and I are co-headlining, meaning we're doing kind of whatever as much. We're trying to burn through all of our material. It's also a live album recording, and
Nice.
so we're recording it. Hopefully, it's good and the crowd is big enough, and we get a good response. And then we can like put it on whatever fucking serious and shit. But yeah, we're really just trying to pack it out just to co-headline it right now. So
yeah, that's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
People, I mean, we've both been doing comedy for, over 5 years. I'm from Raleigh, so it's cool. Like,
over 5 years, dude. We're closer to 10 than we are to 5.
Really?
I took like 4 years off.
No, you're you're the same as me, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, but I took time off. Regardless, we're best
Anyway,
friends regardless.
yeah.
Anyway, but no, I grew up here in Raleigh. It's cool. Jordan, I mean, you're basically from here. You're not, but you lived here long. Jordan lives here. We're best friends. We started comedy at the same time. Yeah, what you just said. They're asking us to record our albums. We're headlining.
Yeah.
Every friend has always been like, "Let me know when you're doing a big show.
This is
that big show."
Yeah. All right. Fuck yeah.
And it's cool too because like it's I don't know if you know this because how long have you lived in Raleigh?
8 years.
Okay,
9 years.
So
Something like that,
I think the K&W may have still been inactive, but it's like Goodnights is in the old K&W in Cameron Village now, and it's like I used to eat there with my grandparents when I was a kid. So it's kind of funny that I get to record my comedy album.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, Bop or Flop podcast as well.
Oh yeah. If you guys want to listen to us talk more
about music, it's a music podcast, and that's like
we mentioned taking too much acid. Well, we took too much acid. We talked about music, or we talked about music while we were doing that, and then that turned into a podcast. We don't do acid every episode. That would be too much. But we go through, we let either us or we let a guest pick a date, and then we go back and we look at the Billboard top 10 from that date, and we talk about if the songs are still good or not. Did they hold up? Do they, as Jordan says, do they rip or do they suck shit?
Or do they bop or do they flop?
Do they flop? We had Freddie and Greg Perlman on.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and we got to get you back on because we got a new studio now, so we got to get you in the
we
new
do.
digs.
Yeah.
It's great, and we also opened it up. We don't do just the top 10 anymore. Like we just covered the alternative airplay charts. So like because Billboard has tons of charts.
Yeah.
So like we're opening it up to other charts.
We just
but
covered
it's cool.
3 Days Grace.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. Bopperflop.com is where you can learn all about that.
Please, if you want to go watch them do comedy. They're fucking hilarious, and I want them to be like, "Wow, going on FredTalk was really worth it." So So do this with me,
dude. I love Freddie. I just wanted to come hang out with you.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, dude, this was fun, bro.
Same,
This is fun as hell. Let's close it out. Hands in,
dude.
Yeah.
Friendship on 3. 1, 2, 3. Friendship.
Yeah.